For row 12, we're going to start with 2 creams. So I have my 2 creams. Now I'm going to work 2 oranges. So I'm going to drop my yarn to the back, insert my hook, and pick up the orange. The orange is down here. So I'm at this stitch right here and the orange is down in the back. You can just pull it up and grab it. And just make sure that it's the same tension as everything else so that it's not bunched up too tight. Now before I work my next box of orange, because I need 2 oranges here, I want to point out that the cream color from this middle section is actually down here, and I'm going to bring it up with me to this slip stitch that I'm about to do. So I'm going to insert my hook into the next stitch. I'm just going to bring it up so that I can get ready to use it without having that pulled tail across the back. I'm just going to grab that cream and put it on my hook. So right now I have my orange, loop the stitch I just inserted into slip stitch, and then I just yarned over this cream color. I'm going to pick my working yarn up, which is this orange, and now I'm going to complete my slip stitch. And I'm just going to pull through all 3 of those loops. And the only thing that did was that it brought this yarn from down here to up here so that it's easier for me to work with after the next box. And I just drop it to the back. And I chain 2. And I'm just going to crochet over it. So I'm laying it right along the stitch that I'm about to work over. And I yarn over, insert into my stitch as normal, and with the tail that I'm working over. So now I have 2 orange boxes done, and I've just carried my yarn with me so I don't have any weird strands on the back. So now when I drop my yarn to the back and I insert into the next stitch, that cream color is much easier for me to grab. Chain 2 and work my next cream box. This technique really only works when you're on the right side, because when you're working the other way it's a little bit more difficult to carry. So this is my favorite technique for carrying when I'm working on the right side. So I need 1 more cream box. And now I'm going to drop my yarn to the back. I am going to insert into the next stitch, and I'm going to pick up orange. Orange is also just like it was before. I'm up here and the orange is down here, and I'm just going to bring it up. Pull my cream yarn tight and continue just working 1 orange box. drop my orange to the back, insert my hook into the next stitch, and I'm going to pick up the cream. And it's the same thing, just pull it up. Just make sure when you pull it that the stitch that it's coming from is not loose. You just want it to be like normal tight. That way after you finish it, the fabric isn't all wonky. And we're going to finish it off with 5 creams. And that's row 12. It looks like this. All our tail ends. And you can see we've completed the S. I have 2 cream boxes, 2 orange boxes, 2 cream boxes, 1 orange box, and 5 cream boxes. And again, we're going to go in and fill in these gaps between the orange boxes so that it looks more seamless at the end. Before I continue, I no longer need the orange here because I've completed this letter. So I'm going to go ahead and fasten that off. And the reason why I'm really fastening it off now is so that my yarn doesn't tangle, though it wasn't tangling anyways. It's just easier to work with. Now I'm going to continue on to 13. 13 is going to start with 5 cream boxes. I have 5 cream boxes. Drop my yarn to the front and pick up orange for 1 box. And the orange, it's right here. And so this is where I'm going to slip stitch. So I'm just going to pull it over. That's nothing. And then I'll just, when I work my stitches into that space, it'll cover up that tail. Now, I'm going to insert my hook into the stitch and I'm going to pull the orange through, and it's going to show on the front, and that's okay because now I'm going to cover it up. Now what do I mean it's going to show through? You can see that it's been pulled over here, but that's okay. Now when I do my stitches into that space, it's going to cover that completely up. And then I'm going to finish it off with 7 cream boxes. Let's see, my cream yarn is right here at the next one, so I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm just going to drop my yarn to the back, or to the front where I'm working, insert my hook into the next stitch, and pull that cream over. Just make sure it's not too tight. And when you work into that space, you're going to cover it up. And I'll show you that real quick. You don't see those pulls at all. And I'm just going to finish it out. 6 more cream boxes for a total of 7 here. Alright, that is row 13. That is 5 cream boxes, 1 orange box, 7 cream boxes. And now that we've started from there, if you have any yarn that's still attached somewhere that you need to cut it off, like right here, it's attached. I don't need that yarn anymore, so I can go ahead and fasten that off. And now I'm ready to go on to row 14. Row 14 is going to start with 6 cream boxes. I have 6 cream boxes. I'm going to work 2 orange boxes. And now I'm going to work 6 cream boxes. Oops, I worked an extra double crochet there. And row 14 is done. So just to recap, I have 6 creams, 2 oranges, and 6 creams. That's 14 boxes in total for row 14. And you can see that we have the S and the bottom half of the E going on. Before I go on to row 15, I went ahead and weaved in most of my ends that were on the back. I saved these orange ones on the S because I'm going to need these later to fill in that gap and to fill in this gap over here so that the letters will connect. And this is from the front. You can see that there's a gap there and a gap there. I'm going to use those orange tails to fix that later on. But I went ahead and weaved in most of the other ends that I don't need so that it's not as messy and less work for me to do later, and they're easier to get to right now. To do row 15, we're going to start with 7 creams. I'm going to drop this yarn to the front, and I'm going to pick up this orange tail that is right here next to me in the next stitch, working just one orange box. The next one's going to be a cream box. I'm going to use this cream tail that's right here. The next one is going to be an orange box. So I'm going to need this orange tail that I finished in the previous box. I'm going to need that to keep working over here upwards. So I'm going to attach another orange. And I'm going to do that with just the same ball of yarn that I'm working with. I'm just going to take it from the other end. And now I am going to work another, let's see, I have the 7 creams, 1 orange, cream orange. I need another cream orange. Where's my cream over here? It's right. Let's see. Okay. So I'm gonna need this beginning cream to continue on this side. I am most likely not gonna need this middle one because this is the letter E, which is gonna have orange boxes here. So I can go ahead and cut this off. I'm going to just untangle it so that I can start fresh, and I'm going to reattach that up there. And now I need another orange box. So I'm just going to evaluate here really quickly. When I work the next row, which is going to add the orange here, I'm going to come across this top orange first. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that one there, and I'm going to cut off this bottom orange. And I'm just going to straighten it out, untangle it here, and reattach it. Oops, drop that cream to the front. And now I'm going to finish it off with 3 creams. So I'm just going to see where I'm going to get the cream from. I'm going to need this one. I will most likely need this one in here. So I'm going to cut a long strand so I can keep that working for a while. And then I'm going to reattach the skein that I just cut. I'm going to reattach it. And so for this part that I just cut all this yarn off, you can wrap that up and make a real easy to use and move bobbin. I'm not going to, I'm just going to leave it like that. And there's row 15 that starts with 7 creams, 1 orange, 1 cream, 1 orange, 1 cream, 1 orange, and finishes with 3 cream boxes. Row 16 is going to start with 4 cream boxes. Next will be 1 orange box. Then will be one cream box. So this is row 16. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 creams, 1 orange, 1 cream. I am going to do 2 oranges. Then I'm going to do another cream box after this. And now 2 orange boxes. This is going to be starting the next letter. So let's look at this again before I go ahead and fasten off. I'm going to start orange down here for the next letter, but I'm still going to need this orange in the middle that I just finished working with to complete the last box of this E. And I'm going to need this orange on the top for the letter that we're working on top. So I'm going to have to do the same thing I did before with the cream. I'm going to take the orange, and since this one is just one more box, this is the better option to go with for cutting because you don't actually need a bunch of yarn for it. Whereas this letter on the top, you're going to need to add quite a bit more. So I'm just going to trim what I think will get me one more box, hopefully. And then I will reattach that yarn that I just cut down here. And then I'm going to finish it off by working 5 creams. I need this one on the top to continue working there. I will most likely need this one here in the middle because there's cream boxes here in the middle. And I will also need this one that's right under it to go up. So I'm going to have to start a new thread down there, so I'm going to have to cut off again. So I'm just seeing right here, this is where I think, nope, this one is attached. So I'm just going to cut a lot of yarn here in the middle. Not sure how much more of that I'm going to need, but that's okay. Now I'm just going to take the part that I just cut and I'm going to reattach that on the bottom after I untangle it, because it's quite tangled right now. You can't see it, but I definitely don't want to continue working with tangles. And I'm ready to finish this out. The only answer that I can think of to no tangles is going to be making your bobbins compact and easy to work with when you're turning, because every single time you turn, your yarn is also turning and it's twisting. So That's the only answer that I could think of. It's really not a big deal. I'm not struggling right here. So it's not a worry to me, but I do take time every couple rows to straighten out or every time I fasten off. And that's the end of row 16. So I started this row here with 4 cream boxes, 1 orange box, 1 cream box, 2 orange boxes, 1 cream box, 2 orange boxes, and we ended it here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cream boxes. Row 17 is going to start with 5 cream boxes. And this is where you're going to see here I'm getting ready to turn, move my chair, getting ready to turn my work so I can work on the wrong side. You can see all my strands that are here, so when I twist it, they're all twisting too. So if that is in your way or it's bothering you, take some time and just untangle all those strands. But for me, it works right now. Now I'm going to do an orange box. Then I will be doing 3 cream boxes. So in this case, this is the yarn that I'm going to need to be working with, that's here in the center. And I think I'm just going to pull it over carefully, because if I pull it too tight, then it's going to is that the right word? Distort. There it is. It's going to distort my image, and it's going to prevent it from stretching. So if you're worried about that, or if you crochet really tight, trim it off and reattach it, but I am going to just pull it over. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring it up to where it would be slip stitched here and over. I'm going to pick it up. So here I've already attached it. I'm just going to make sure before I continue that I have enough slack in here that it's not going to be too tight. And then I'm just going to crochet over this tail. And then when I slip stitch into the next box, I'm going to just make sure that that is also over my hook so I can work over it. And because these are both cream boxes that I pulled it over, you're not seeing any change in color along those boxes. So I just finished 3 cream boxes. I'm going to work an orange box. And now I'm going to work another cream box. And now I need another orange box. And then I'm going to finish it out with 5 cream boxes. So for row 17, we have worked 5 cream boxes, 1 orange box, 3 cream boxes, 1 orange box, 1 cream box, 1 orange box, and 5 cream boxes. Row 18 is going to start with 5 cream boxes. Next I'm going to work an orange box. Then I'm going to work 3 cream boxes. I'm playing a bit of yarn chicken here. Will I make it? I don't think so. Let me try again. Well, technically I could pull it through, but this is not big enough to weave in, so unfortunately I'm gonna have to add more of this cream yarn right here. So I'm just gonna take it back a little bit. And let's see where I can pull it out from. Actually, I can take it from right here. Before it was a cream box, an orange box, and a cream box, so I have 2 strands here. And I'm not going to need this one that's over here. So I can actually just use that, and I don't have to cut off anything or reattach anything. I'm just going to pull it from there. That's so funny. Have you guys played Yarn Chicken before? Tell me in the comments below if you won or if you lost at Yarn Chicken. Or maybe you've never even heard of that. Let me know that too. I have 3 cream boxes here in the middle. I'm going to do 3 orange boxes. And so my orange is down here by this E, so I'm going to fasten that off and reattach it. Oh, and I cut it off, but that's actually yarn that I cut previously, so I'm not going to use that. Let me see where I can take it from. I'm just going to take it from anywhere because they're both about the same. So I'm taking it from the bottom letter and I'm just pulling yarn through so I can cut it off. Now I'm going to finish this off by working 6 cream boxes. Alright, so row 18 is going to be 5 cream boxes, 1 orange box, 3 cream boxes, 3 orange boxes, and 6 cream boxes. And this is what we have so far. This is a B, B, E, S, and that's an L. So you're starting to see it come together. This, obviously, for this B, we're going to have to fix that and make sure that those connect. And we're going to do that as well as the S later on. Row 19 is going to start with 5 cream boxes. Next will be 1 orange box. And I'm just stopping to look for a moment because I'm looking ahead and I see that I have 4 orange boxes in this row. So I'm gonna need another one towards the end. Let's see, that one I'm going to keep. So right now I only have 2. And I'm gonna need 4, so I'm gonna have to cut some orange off so that I could use it, because down here where we're working right now is actually the start of another letter. So I'm just gonna trim a bunch here. And I'm gonna reattach the next one. Then I'm going to do a cream box, which my cream is over here behind my orange box, but I'm going to need that to work the cream boxes that are on the bottom. So I'm going to start another cream here, and that's what I will use to work upwards in between the 2 letters. So I'm going to have to trim some here. And they're all about the same, so I'm just going to trim it from the top. Now I'm going to work an orange box. Now I'm going to work 3 cream boxes. And my cream is actually above, let's see, right here, above the orange boxes. So I'm going to do the same thing I did before, and I'm just going to pull it down. So that's too tight. I just wanted to get it through. That's too tight. But now I'm going to go through and I'm just going to tug it a little bit so that I have enough slack here. Now I'm going to work an orange box. And this is where my tail is, 2 boxes up, but I'm not going to pull it down because I'm actually going to need this orange to continue working upwards. So I'm just going to cut and reattach. And when you're cutting, just make sure you're untangling your yarn so that it's easy to work starting over. And if it bothers you having a bunch of just all these yarns just everywhere, you can wrap this up, wrap it around, make a butterfly bobbin, and it will be much cleaner and easier. Won't get tangled. I just don't do that. This is not my thing. It's also easier if you weave in your ends as you go because they're the easiest to get to while they're here rather than as a big square. Just remember, if you're weaving in that where you need to connect your letters, you need to leave some of those tail ends that are in the same color as what you'll be connecting so you can use those later. Now I'm going to do a cream box, and I don't have any cream around here. The closest cream that I have is up here, 2 boxes, but I'm going to need that to work here on the top, and I also have to squeeze an orange in between, so I'm going to do the same thing as I did before. I'm not going to pull that cream down. I'm going to restart a new one there. So I'm just going to take this one on the top and cut a long strand. Oh, and I can't do it from that because that one is its own. So now I will come down here, which is also its own here in the middle. So I'm going to come down to the next one. And actually this one's a better one anyways because if I were to cut from here on the bottom where I'm working these 5 boxes at a time, I would have to attach yarn a lot sooner than here in the middle where I'm just working upwards. And I actually probably didn't even need to cut all of that yarn that I just did because it's probably going to connect here in the middle somewhere, but that's okay. Now I'm going to work an orange box. And I'm going to finish this row off by working 5 cream boxes. Alright, row 19 is done. Let's go back to the beginning. I have 5 cream boxes, 1 orange box, 1 cream box, 1 orange box, 3 cream boxes, 1 orange box, 1 cream box, 1 orange box, and 5 cream boxes. Row 20 is going to start with 5 cream boxes. I just ran out of yarn here, so I need to pull it from somewhere else. So I need this one on the bottom. This one is a bobbin. Then I have one here. That's also a bobbin. And I have this one right here. This one is from the skein. And this one, I won't need that many to complete here, so I'm going to pull from there. Pulling it from the skein so I can cut it. And then I'm just going to reattach it here in the last yarn over of this double crochet. I'm going to work an orange box next. And I'm going to work 2 cream boxes. Then I'm going to work an orange box. Then I'm going to work a cream box. And I'm about to run out of yarn again right here. So let's see where I'm going to take it from. So I can either take it from the bottom half or the top half. They're both where I'm working 5 boxes, so it doesn't matter. I'm taking it out of the top because this one is coming out of the center of the ball, which is the easiest to work with, so that's why I picked that one. Let me see where I am. 2 cream boxes, an orange box, a cream box, and 2 orange boxes is next. Oops. Alright, so my closest orange tail is down here. I'm gonna do a very similar way that I did before. I'm just doing it on the back side now, where I'm gonna pull it up and then bring it over. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just bring it over. And now, of course that's too tight, but now I can wiggle it around. Just make sure I have enough give, but not too much slack. Because if you have too much slack, your stitches are gonna be loose. So I'm just pulling it up to where it's going to be slip stitched and making sure I have enough slack here. So when I slip stitch into this next stitch, I'm going to do, right now that orange is pulled over. I want to make sure that's on my hook so I can work the next box over those stitches and hide that pull. And now I have 2 cream boxes. One orange box. And I'm finishing off this row with 5 cream boxes. Oh goodness. My cat just jumped up on the table. And that row is complete. I have 5 cream boxes here, 1 orange box, 2 cream boxes, 1 orange box, 1 cream box, 2 orange boxes, 2 cream boxes, 1 orange box, and 5 cream boxes. Alright, so row 21 is our very last row that we're going to be increasing. This is the last row that we are going to start with a chain 6. The rest of them we are going to slip stitch over, because after this we'll have met the size that we're looking for. So row 21 is going to start with 5 cream boxes. Next is going to be 2 orange boxes. Then 2 cream boxes. Then 1 orange box. Then 1 cream box. I think this letter down here on the bottom is finished. I'm just checking it. So that's a B, and that's the last box that we needed to work, that orange box we just finished. So I'm going to go ahead and trim that orange off since I no longer need it there, just to get it out of my way. Because I keep pushing this yarn to the side, but this is what my yarn looks like right now. It's not tangled, it's just kind of jumbled up. Still easy to work with. I can still pull from it. Alright. Gonna work an orange box next. Then I'm going to work 3 cream boxes. Then 1 orange box. And then I'm going to finish this off with 5 cream boxes. So row 21 had 5 cream boxes, then 2 orange boxes, 2 cream boxes, 1 orange box, 1 cream box, 1 orange box, 3 cream boxes, 1 orange box, and 5 cream boxes. And now should be at the size that we want, which is 16 inches for this pillow. Can't fit it all on screen, but from one side to the next. So I'm just going to take my tape measure and just make sure how close I am. So I'm starting on the edge over here. And I'm right at 16 inches, which is perfect. That's exactly how big I want my pillow cover to be. It's going to fit a 16-inch pillow. It could also fit a 17-inch pillow, but it'll fit my 16-inch one comfortably. And now we're going to start to decrease in the next row.